Foolish gobbers, you can't hope to capture me.
Let me ask you all something today. What does it mean to be a hero? Is it all about having superpowers? Is it about putting everything on the line for truth, justice, and the American way? Is it the tight spandex? Who's to say? Well, what I say is, today is the day to be hero. Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Memphis XR, welcoming you to Yu-Gi-Oh! Cabin Fever, the show where you and me are locked inside a log cabin for the month of January, playing card games together. Today, everybody, is day 29, and today, everybody, it is time for elementalhero. Specifically, more or less, it's masked hero stuff. We got ourselves a masked hero-centric sort of elemental hero build, and we're going to be summoning out all the fusions in the world. That's the name of today's game. Just overwhelm the opponent with all the combos and wombos in the world and hit our opponent really hard. So we got ourselves our deck here today thanks to our boy, Eric Breeze, who wanted us to take a look at the masked heroes and specifically more or less at the new Shining Fair Wingman as well. So we got ourselves our deck today, but showing off the wombos and the combos, the what do's and the what not do's, summoning out the heroes and going for the gold. So if you want to know the whole deck list, it's going to be at the end as always. For now, hit up all the good buttons down below to help your boy out. We're on a bit of a roll here on the channel. I want to keep it going for the last couple days of Cabin Fever. So for now, let's head right into the action, show off what this baby can do, and have ourselves a good one with elemental hero style. Alright, everybody, it's time for our first opponent. Another day and another card game. So with our deck, we can go first or second, but I like to go first, more or less, to, you know, get things set up, and then we'll hit our opponent really hard. Let's see what we have for opening hand here. I can make this work. We're going to start with Ferris, the fairest of them all. Funnily enough, he's a one-off in this particular build, but we've got Ferris on the board. He'll set up visionhero increase. And hey, we already got Dusky Crow set up. Well, for later. We need to special summon him, but we're working on that part. You know, the whole concept of heroes, it's a little nutty, because this is one of the bigger archetypes in the game. They just get so much support. But that's what they will do. We're going to just start comboing off. I'll explain it as we go. But basically, we're just going to start building up to things. We're going to go ahead and send the Shadow Mist to the graveyard. I already have Mask changed and everything, so that's really good. And Mask is going to go ahead and add... Let's see, I haven't normal summoned yet. So I'm going to get Stratos. I like Stratos. So let me get Stratos. The OG Search-a-Muffin. And we just got to... We do have to hurry a little bit because timing's a thing. I have standard timer here on EDO Pro. So I don't want to waste any time doing things. Just follow along with what I'm doing, and you will do just fine. We're going to go ahead for Miracle Ejector here. Just putting as many monsters on the board as humanly possible and searching out more stuff. So let's go ahead and get... let me double check. No, that's right. I took out Dread Devicer. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's go ahead and get End Shuffle. We're going to go ahead and get that because this Injector thing, it's an interesting number. It counts as an E hero, so I can just trip the darn thing off, or yeah, put it back there. Special summon a monster of the elemental hero variety. So I'm just going to go ahead and get Neo set up for later. Get the big boy going. And we'll use End Shuffle as well. I'm just going to shuffle back a couple of cards so I can use them later. Draw myself another card, because why the heckin' not? So with all that built up and set up, we'll use Vion's effect. Banish Ferris. And get ourselves Polymerization. Let's see. Summon a non-hero fusion monster. Yep, I do. Yep, I do indeed. So let's go ahead. Oh, man, there's so many things I can still do. So let's do even more. Fusion Destiny. You know, heroes are all like one big archetype, so it's like you can combine them very easily. So we're going to summon out our Phoenix Enforcer and use him for later. I'm going to go ahead and make Cross Guy. Go ahead and use up these two. Doesn't matter too terribly much. We got the Cross Crusader. It'll bring back a monster. That way we just like combo the wombo. It's a little ridiculous at times, but you know we'll be able to do most of everything we want to do right now. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and add Honesty Neos just to have myself a little bit of something I can do later. And let's see, I will need to use Malicious Delicious here. I need to bring out another monster onto the board. And let's go ahead and let's see here. What is my fusion target? I need to get Sunriser about. But I can't summon Sunriser at the moment because of defusion. That is true, but that's okay. Not that big of a deal. For now, I mean, I could just make Dread Decimator. So why the heck not? I'm just going to make this dude, put him over here. And that'll make my monsters just a little bit bigger. And I think that'll be good for now. Nice and straightforward opening board. I mean, the Phoenix Enforcer can pop himself to pop an opponent's card. That all works out pretty good. Infinite Impermanence, you say. Let me think about this. Alright. I'm going to Dread Decimate, just to get that out of the way. I'm going to pop myself to pop Imperm, as I sometimes like to do. I just want to make sure the Enforcer is going to be set up for later. Because I can bring him back next turn, so long as I don't get, like, called by it. Okay. Well, such is the life of... Sometimes that's the life of it. Okay. Not a problem. What are we up against? Regulus of Endymion, you say. Alright. Well, with that being in mind, I'm going to activate Mass Change on Decimator. This will be just fine. So what do we got going on here? Summoning out somebody else, you say. Fascinating. Fascinating indeed. Summon a Magistus or Witchcrafter from the... Okay, getting out this thing. Well, I'm going to summon out the darkest of all law. Maskedhero Darklaw. Very infamous monster. He's basically one-sided macrocosmos. Anything my opponent sends to the GY is going to be banished. Plus, I have Super Poly if I need to, so we're all good in that respect. And yeah, as Lacrima the Croppa is going to Banish Town. Alright, and since you added a card to your hand, Darklaw is going to banish a random card from your hand. Which is a once per turn. It's not a solid one, so if, you know, in theory you had multiple mass changes and a couple extra mass to your Darklaw, you could banish your entire opponent's hand, or at least a good chunk of their hand. But that's not where we're going today. Let's see, what do we got going on now? This will fusion a Magistus dude. Yeah, that's actually beautiful. Actually, that's exactly what I want you to do. Let's see. Equip that face-up monster to this card. No. Super Polymerization. Nope, sir. I am going to say no to you. And everything you love. I shall summon out Flare Wingman. Now, I will lose Darklaw, sadly, because of rulings and stuff, but that's okay. Because now that I've summoned out Shining Flame Wingman, I can get back 5 monsters from my graveyard, draw 2 cards, and give this guy a big old boost. Very good. Also, Furnace is going to come out into the field because I summoned out a fusion. So that's pretty neat. So let's get back... Well, actually, do I need Darklaw right now? Not necessarily. I'm going to get Crow for certain. We'll get Vion and Increase, so we can use that again. Leave Malicious. Leave Drainer. Get back... Let's get back our links. I think that'll work. That'll be just fine. And my opponent surrenders! As expected, the onslaught of heroes, no villainy will be permitted. So, that's essentially what our deck does kind of sort of want to do. You know, we set up a few monsters onto our board. We do like to just kind of like run over our opponent in offense, but we can just as well interrupt them enough to dissuade what they want to do. You know, Darklaw is a pretty nasty dude in of himself. And even if he leaves the board, doesn't matter. We got Super Poly to back that up. I had Honest in my hand. 2,500 point boost to any hero I'd like. So, we were sitting pretty. Also, I had, like, Favorite Contact as well. So, at the end of the day, we were pretty set. So, let's go ahead for duel number 2. Show off more what this deck can do. There's still a few other combos and wombos I'd like to show off. We still have other masked heroes to show off. So, let's go for it. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Alright, once again, going first. Maybe we'll try going second in the last duel today. We'll see how it's going to go. Opening hand is just fine. Nothing wrong with it. We're going to start with our boy, the fairest of them all, discarding Malicious Delicious, and see where things go from there. We're up against a very big 60 card deck, so hard to say exactly what this could be, but we'll find that out in a hot second. Let's go finish comboing off. That's the thing about heroes. They combo a lot. It's both a good and a bad thing, I would say, for heroes, because they could do so much. But at the same time, sometimes it feels like they have so many combos and wombos they can do. You never get to do them all in one deck. There's just so many things that they can do. The extra deck is like the worst part of it, because like, you only fit 15 cards in there. It's insane. Okay, so let me think about this. Let me think about that. I'm going to get Dusk Crow. I mean, the masked heroes are supposed to be the main liners here, so we got to make sure that they feature as much as humanly possible. It's very important. But let's go ahead and get Polywally Doodle all the day, just in case we need the darn thing. And we're going to go for our E-Call as well. Get Stratos going, because searching is very cool. Want to do lots of searching. Searching is a very big thing. We'll go ahead and get Stratos. Add another hero. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and get our Miracle Ejector, just so we can draw out even more stuff. Wish I had Neos going right now, but it's neither here nor there. I'm going to ditch Air Hummingbird. If y'all are wondering why Air Hummingbird in here, not like Dolphin or something else, there is a reason. And that reason is because originally I did want to try Air Neos in here. But that's like, you have to really focus on Air Neos to make him work out right. So, regrettably, that just did not work out as well as I was hoping it would. Either way, let's go ahead and summon out Neos just to get him in circulation. Very nice. And we have Dusk Crow for when I need it. So, let me think about this. Let's go ahead and use End Shuffle. Shuffle back some of our useful dudes. Draw ourselves another... Hey, Liquid Man, that's perfect. That is actually pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and bring out Cross Guy. Using Vion and Stratos, I'll bring out Cross Crusader. And go from there. Bring back the Malicious Delicious. And with that, we'll be able to get into some, what do you call it? Some masked hero action. So that's what we want to do. So we'll tribute off Malicious. We're going to add ourselves... what do I want to add to my hand, actually? Let me think about that. I already have Honesty Neos. I'm going to search Furnace in a hot second. So I don't really need that. I'm going to get the Spirit of Neos just in case I need the darn thing. Just in case. So for now, we're going to activate Polymerization. We're going to fuse into this dude. Oh, I could summon in this dude too. In a minute. For now, though, we're going to fuse our Neos with our Increase and summon out Sunrider. Because this lets me get my Miraculous Fusion for later. That way I can fuse with stuff in my GY. Alright, and with that all said, we're going to activate Fountain's ability. I reveal him in the hand, and I can summon out a Masky Dude, or any hero I want, from my hand. So I'll summon out Dusky Crow, activate his ability. This will get me my Furnace, and I can use Furnace's effect to search out my Mass Change. So that's exactly, I think, what we're going to do. So we'll go ahead and search out Mask Change from the deck. And we have to discard a card, so we're going to detach Fountain. Because when the Fountain gets discarded, I can get another Mask Change straight to the board. So I can use it later. Alright, so with that all said and done... so many things I still want to do. Let me think. I still have Malicious. I'm going to go ahead and use Malicious's effect to bring him out. I need another dark monster on the board. I need another dark, because if I want to do snarky things, I have to do them now. So we're going to activate Polymerization. I want to go for Phoenix Boy, but at the same time, we have to focus on some of those masked hero boys. So Furnace will come back because I summon out Chaos Man. And let's see, I can negate a guy on the field to the end of the turn, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to summon out back Furnace. Get him on the board. And we'll go ahead and set a card and pass the turn. I don't need to go too much hard. I could have summoned Phoenix Enforcer. I don't really want to. Either way. So we're going to go ahead and see where this is going to go. Please play Grass Looks Greener. That would be hilarious. Pretty much a game ender right there if I play Mass Change on Grass Looks Greener. That would be hilarious, but we'll see how it's going to go. You know, 60-card decks typically like to set up a lot of, like, graveyard stuff. So that's where, you know, Dark Law is going to be very, very useful here. Extremely useful. But we have ourselves a nice setup. You know, I've got Chaos Boy. I can negate a face-up dude on the board. Let's go ahead and activate Mass Change the first one. Gonna go ahead and mass change into my board, the Darkest Law. We'll use the fancy artwork here. We'll use the fancy one. He's going to dropkick people. It reminds me of Anki, honestly. Which I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's what he does. Okay, what do we got? Jack of Balan. Target a zombie in either grave. Summon that monster, but then banish this card face up. Alright, trying to set up a Shang-Chi, you say. So 60-card zombies. That can be pretty devastating. But because now I have Dark Law, he can't really use Gold Lord or things of that nature. So that's pretty big. And it is fairly big to hit that right early. You know, zombies do not like to have their cards banished. It's kind of against everything they believe in. Kind of like being hit by shield and sword, am I right? So yeah, he's got that Jack of Balan and he's got Shang-Chi. But now that I got Dark Law, and Dark Law is getting bigger thanks to Thunwrither, I get 200 attack for every different attribute on my side of the field, which I got like, let's see, this counts as like light as well. So that's 1, 2, buckle my shield. My opponent surrender. Okay. Another victim of Dark Law is such a trolling card, I swear. I swear, every time I play heroes and I have Dark Law, he takes over. I don't know what it is. That's not Dark Law. This is Dark Law. But yes, we had this. This is what I call a golden opportunity sort of event here, because I played Dark Law against a deck that absolutely could not live without a graveyard. Without a graveyard, he couldn't live, so that makes perfect sense. Let's go over duel number 3. Might do a duel number 4 today. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the third duel goes. I don't want these to be like super long, but let's go for our third opponent and see what else we can do. There's a little bit left in the next deck to do, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Alrighty, everybody, it's time for the third opponent. The hero fighting turn. Alright. I did say I would try to go second, so let's see what happens when we go second. Let's see how it goes. Interesting. Interesting opening hand. It's got a lot of potential to it. It's got stuff and things. We're up against Poker Knights. Okay, Poker Knights are an interesting bunch. I haven't seen them in like forever, so I'm just going to nod my head and say they're an interesting bunch. Absolutely. But yeah, this lets him, let's see, take 2 dudes, either adds or special summons them. He does have, okay, yeah, he'll summon out the Queen's Knight, add the King's Knight to the hand, I would assume. Or just summon it as well. You could do that too. Okay, Queen and Yak are on the field. And you got your fusion. This is the fusion spell. No. This is Joker straight. This is the thing that lets him get like, okay. Adds the Queen's Knight. Adds a King's Knight. Then you get another normal summon. So then he'll get to summon the King's Knight. And then summon another Jack? I guess. Something of that nature. Yeah, because it's like one of those old school Yu-Gi-Oh cards that doesn't have a lot of restrictions to how it works. Other than it must be a normal summon. Alright. You have a lot of stuff on the field, that's certainly true. And you do have Face of Fusion. I see. You will be facing the fusions. So, any light warrior fusion, depends on what it is, I suppose. I assume it's going to be Arcana the Joker. Alright, so remind me how this thing... Spell trap monster added that targets this card, discard a card, negate the effect. I mean, if I was prepared to target you, that would be really bad, but I don't really think I need to do that. Depending on what you're going to do with these 2 Jack Knights. Because he had all 3 Jack Knights. That's pretty nutty. So, do you have like a rank 5 you can go into, maybe? Are you... No. You have to be a light warrior. Is there a light warrior rank 5? I don't think so. Not to my memory. But then again, this game keeps getting more cards, so I could be very mistaken. Could be very mistaken into that, but I don't think there is. No links, no nothing. Okay, so, yeah, the cards are going to go back to his hand because that's how the Poker Knight spell traps kind of work. Target Light Warrior in the grave, shuffle to the deck, add this card to your hand. Yugi's cards got all the cool support. Kind of like Karibo's did. Alright, so now that it's finally our turn, we top deck... it's crazy, I played 1 copy of Ferris, so the guy is glued to my hand. It's nutty. But we got ourselves Ferris. What is this? The Court of Cards. Control the monster, control, blah, blah, blah. Summon a knight, banish dudes. Okay, this doesn't do anything. It's a really cool sounding card, but it doesn't do terribly much. He does get to draw cards if he feels like it, so we'll see how that's gonna play out. Let's just see what other kind of fusions I can get into up in here. Because, as far as I can tell, he's got nothing he can interrupt me with. Unless I try to target him. Okay. Oh, I guess he can use Court of Cards at any point to banish cards to draw more cards, which I assume is what he's planning to do at some point. Yeah, there we go. The Court of Cards. He can banish King, Queen, and Jack and draw a number of cards. Yeah, he draw essentially up to 3 cards. Okay, cool. And I could have Dark Lawed there, but it's like, whatever. He gets 1... If he was going to draw like a bunch of cards, maybe I would have gone for Dark Law, but this is fine. I feel like we're totally okay at the moment. So let's get started. I really wish I was playing the Great Tornado. This is what I was talking about. If I was only had enough room for the Great Tornado. That's the cool thing about Elemental Heroes. They have so much variety and such a big toolbox of different fusions. And you'll never get to play them all in one deck. You really have to be very choosy about it, which I get. You know, like the extra deck can't be bigger than 15. Otherwise, this game will become completely unplayable. Like, more so than it already is sometimes. But at the same time, I kind of wish there was more. Because then I could play more hero fusions and stuff that are like neato. I could have made room for Dread Devicer and got like the normal monster heroes. But you really, if you want to play the normal heroes, you kind of have to make it like, you have to make them the focus to do that. So that's probably going to be a future build we're going to have to do. Because I like normie heroes. You know, but today's all about the masked dudes. So let's get some masked heroes going. So let's summon out. Get another Stratos. Because he is not once per turn on anything, because whoever designed this card was a madman. But we're all set for days. Let's go ahead and get our boy, Dusky Crow. Yes. Get old Dusky Crow set up. So now we can go into... let's see here. I need to draw more cards. Let's go for End Shuffle. We're going to go ahead and get back a couple of cards. I'm really grateful my opponent hasn't, like, given up at this point. Which is sometimes a thing you got to worry about when playing the, heroes and stuff. So let's go ahead. Boom and boom. We'll leave Vion alone because we just want to leave him alone. Because Vion can get me a poly by banishing one of my cards. So I don't want to link him off anytime soon. We'll go for the Milish Delish. Activate the effect of Cross Crusader. Get myself a Wawa Boy. Where's Wawa Boy? There you are, Wawa Boy. That's his official hero name, by the way. If there's a Water Boy in Dispatch, then I can have Wawa Boy in my hand. Okay? That's just how it goes. Alright, so we'll get Wawa Boy. Activate Wawa Boy's ability. To Wawa, get some monsters on the board. Get out my Dusky Crow. But Shumba. And that'll get me my Furnace. Which for some reason, whenever I think about Furnace, I think about the Gen X monster. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. We'll use Furnace's effect, revealing him. Get ourselves another copy of Poly, actually, because I already have Mass Change, and I'm going to get the other one anyway, so this all works out. I just need to start thinking about how I'm actually going to out Arcana Joker, which I can, obviously. I can very easily do that. It's just a matter of, like, how I want to do it. So let's go ahead and activate Polymerization Numero Uno. We're going to go ahead and get into Thunwrither to make my monsters nice and huge. Relatively huge. They're not quite huge enough just yet. That Arcana Joker's pretty big. He is pretty big. So let's go ahead and activate Polymerization. Fusing into... Ooh. Ooh. I mean, the big fusion would sound pretty neat, but I think this works just as well. So we'll go for Contrast. Furnace will come back. And then I can negate a dude, but I really don't want to do that just yet. Not just yet. I'm actually going to activate Mass Change on Furnace. The reason is because we haven't seen the other new Masked Hero, which is Atomic. When this guy gets summoned out, I can bring back a non-fusion dude. And I really wish I had... Well, I have Mass Change. I can go into, like, Acid, which is cool. Let's see. Banish a material from the field or the graveyard. I probably stopped playing water monsters, though. So, I'm going to activate... because we haven't seen Absolute Zero either. I'm going to activate Miracle Fusion. And, let's see. This card's opponent has more cards than you do, which he doesn't. I have Infernal Rage, like a cage. Yes. From the graveyard. Oh, I gotta use a monster on the board too. Okay, that's not as much as I was hoping to do, but that's okay. I'm gonna get my boy Infernal Rage. He's gonna get me my favorite hero equip spell, which will make my monster absolutely gigantic, and may allow him to beat over Arcana Joker. Because at the start of the battle phase, I'll be able to get my field spell. So activate the effect of the favorite hero. I must say, my opponent is very good about all this. Not everyone is. So, let's see. I'm going to attack into Joker. Thanks to my Skyscraper, my monster will become bigger than you. Excellent. Alright, that should be... I don't know if this is game or not, but it's going to be very close. Also, I can pop my opponent's cards if I want to, but I'm going to choose openly not to. So, go into that, and that ought to be good. Alrighty, folks, but yeah, that ought to do... that just shows that I'm really grateful that my opponent, you know, they stuck through all this, because not everyone does when they see the power of the elemental heroes. But yeah, here we go. That ought to... Oh, wait, no, he's not done yet. Technically speaking, he is not done yet. He's got life points left, and I'm out of time, so I'm just going to have to end my turn. He may also use the Court of Cards in a second, but we'll see how it's going to go. So we'll just end our turn for now. I think we should be fine. We should be fine. I'm not going to use Atomic's effect in the end phase. Because I could get back one of my quick plays. I could get back Mass Change, but this is fine. It's totally okie dokie. Totally okie dokie schmokey. But that is what the deck wants to do. And, okay. I'm not just going to willy-nilly hit my opponent every time they do something. That would be rude. That'd be making me a rude, crude dude. But I am grateful that we had to show off Skyscraper. This is like the OG hero-like thing. You know, when your hero battles something that's bigger than them, we get the home field advantage and we smack them. Give them a good old smack. Alright, so, get the king, get the queen, get the jack. I thought all the jacks were gone. Hold on. Aren't all the jacks Kaputski Bill? Or am I very mistaken? I may be mistaken about that. I could have sworn he used up all the jacks. I see 1, 2. Nope, he did get one back. Okay. Alright, you got all 3 of them back on the board. What does that mean? That's the big question. I don't actually know what that means. It means he's going to do something. What is he going to do? I don't actually know. Well, we'll see. We shall see indeed. I would love Poly, because the one thing I haven't actually done yet. Like, extra deck wise, we've done. Add a level 10 non-dark monster with questionable attack from your deck to your hand and immediately after the effect. Normal summon level 10 oh my goodness, he's getting Sliff for the Sky Whiffer. It's the executive producer. It's a little late in the game. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I see it. He'll use the Court of Cards to draw 3 cards. Oh, I see. Very clever. I mean, it's a little later than never, but at the same time, that's pretty dang good. No wonder he stuck around. My boy would not give up until he had a chance to summon out the executive man. Alright. So, the thing is, I could use Sunriser to just destroy Slifer, but that'd be very disrespectful. So I will refuse to do so. I could if I wanted to, but won't. Because I have decency and standards, damn it. Alright, so this will be the end of the game, because while Slifer is large and in charge, my monsters are bigger than him. Now, hold on. But he has more... Oh, wait, hold on. He's got to get one of these back. That's true. But even if he made his monster 1,000 points bigger... Oh, hold on. Oh. Memphis might have made a goofy, but it's okay. I still have outs to this. The fact is, the Slifer has 0 protection. So long as that's the case, I can still just annihilate the dude. I just wish I had, like, certain things to do about that. Either way. Let's go ahead and... get Miracle Ejector. Because he has the Court of Cards, that just draws him more cards, which is powerful in this respect, because Slifer will become massively large. But because of, I mean, even, I didn't really need to do anything, to be honest. I can literally just have anybody attack Slifer, and then Sunriser will make it explode. You know what I mean? It's not like he can play any of these cards from his hand unless he's got, like, something. What exactly? I'm not certain. But shouldn't Slifer be destroying my ejector right now? Right? Oh, I guess it doesn't work in that respect. Okay. Cool beans. But yeah, Slifer does auto-destroy anybody that gets too small. So, much as I want to keep the game going, I think it's time to put my buddy for bed. So, we'll attack with our favorite boy, and then Sunriser's just going to be like, goodbye, Slifer. We loved you. We loved and respected you, Slifer. But I'm afraid it's game right there. So, good on my opponent for sticking to his guns. Very cool indeed. So, I think that's good for today. We've shown off we've shown off like 90-something% of the deck. So, let's go ahead for the end screen. Alrighty, everybody. To be hero. That's right. The masked hero splash, whatever you want to call this. I don't know what we're calling this deck. It'll be in the, you'll see it in a minute. Anyway, so we got ourselves our heroes. They did what I would expect heroes to do. They womboed and they comboed. We got to show off the masked heroes. We got to show off the E heroes, a little bit of the D heroes, a smidge of the V heroes. Is there any other heroes I'm forgetting about? I mean, let's see. Elemental heroes. We've got Vision heroes. We got Heroes of the Ashen. Well, we didn't play. We didn't play the evil heroes today. That's one thing we didn't do. I think that's the only thing we're missing. Oh my lord, there's so many heroes. There's 300 some odd cards in the hero archetype. Roughly. Roughly. That's how big they are. That's bigger than numbers. Anyway, so we got to do some cool stuff today. We got to summon out a lot of the stuff we wanted to summon out. We did get to summon out, like, favorite hero. We got to summon out, like, the masked hero that's new. We didn't get to go into Shining Neos Wingman, but that's like a be-all, end-all sort of, in case of emergencies kind of monster. So, I think we did alright today. I think so, but let me know in the comments what you thought about today's deck. Don't forget to hit all the good buttons down below. We're only 13 beautiful, beautiful sons of guns away from 1,000 subscribers. Because we've had a very, very nice couple days. So, very much appreciative of all of you back at home. And thank you for joining us. So for today's deck profile, here it is. For our main deck, we have one copy of the OG Neos, one copy of Spirit of Neos, two copies of Honest Neos as a surprise hand trap, two copies of Furnace, three copies of Malicious Delicious, one copy of Ferris, because I find like you only really need one of the darn thing, a couple copies of Stratos, because we have enough searching for Stratos that we only need really one of the darn thing, or, well, two just for consistency, but I don't think we need three in this particular one. Three copies of Dusky Crow, because this is a masked hero deck, so you want more masked heroes. You have one copy of the Shadowy Mist for searching of things. Two copies of Fountain, because you can just straight up summon any hero by revealing himself, which is pretty dang good. One copy of Vion for the combos. One Denier to help recycle Malicious Delicious. One increase for the Ferris combo. One copy of Hummingbird, which is my personal one. You can play any Neospatian for the effect of Ejector. I picked Hummingbird because originally I had, you know, the Air Neos in the deck, but you can play whatever one you want. That's really up to you. We have three copies of Miracle Ejector. We got three copies of E-Call, a couple copies of A Hero Lives. I just realized I didn't remember to put in Rhoda, but clearly I don't need Rhoda as much. But if you want to throw in Rhoda, that's also a thing. But yeah, a couple copies of Hero Lives, one End Shuffle, a couple copies of Poly, one copy of Miracle Fusion, two Destiny Fusion, Fusion Destiny, whatever you want to call the darn thing. Two copies of Mass Change, one Call By, two copies Super Polymerization, two copies of the Favorite Hero, which could just be like, you can go like 3 and 1, 1 and 3, whatever you want to do there. One copy of Skyscraper, and a Favorite Contact. For the extra deck, which is oh so small for what heroes can do, we have Cross Guy for the D heroes. We have Wonder Driver to recover our spell traps of the fusion variety. Dread Decimator to make our monsters bigger and give us piercing. We have Voltic Thunder if we're having a bit of a slow start and we want to blow up my opponent's board. We have a couple copies of Dark Law because it's not once per turn on the hand rip. And also it's a one-sided Macrocosmos, which is the bigger thing, but there you go. And we have one copy of Fenrither because he makes our monsters, again, bigger. Lets us pop stuff when we battle, back or forth, doesn't matter which. And it gets me Miracle Fusion. We have our favorite hero, Flame Wingman, who can allow us to beat over stuff, gets us our Skyscraper and all that good stuff, and adds any of the favorite spell traps we want. We have the OG Superman of Elemental Heroes, which is absolute zero. Fantastical if you're up against Mermails or something of the like. But if he leaves the board for whatever reason, you destroy all your opponent's monsters, fantastic card to combine with Mass Change. We have the new Shining Flare Wingman. Very cool super poly target. Works very well in our deck, or just to fuse off my opponent's fusions, whatever we need. But it can recover 5 monsters from the graveyards, draws some cards, gets 1,000 attack points, and burns my opponent when he destroys stuff by battle. Absolutely insane card. One copy of the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, which is kind of like a really annoying card in some respects, but at the same time, he's very useful at times. You know, it gives me the interrupt. I can pop him in an opponent's card on the field, and he weakens my opponents for 200 points for every hero in my graveyard. Kind of like Sunriser, but from the graveyard. We have our maskedhero Atomic, which is the new maskedhero monster. Once per turn protection, which is cool. Brings back a hero that is not fire attribute from the grave when he gets summoned out. And in the end phase, I can get back my quick play change spells. We have maskedhero Athon, which is the guy, he's a very common rider looking dude. But this is the guy we can combine with Absolute Zero. This guy will blow up all my opponent's back row when it gets summoned out. So you combine this with Absolute Zero for a total board wipe. We have, of course, Shining Neos Wingman, who gets 300 attack for every monster in my graveyard. Can't be beat by card effects. And let's see, you destroy cards and burn my opponent and all that good stuff. Absolutely big dude. And lastly, of course, we have Contrast Hero Chaos, our maskedhero fusion monster. He's a light and a dark monster, and he can negate my opponent's effects once per turn. It's any face-up card, negates effects to the end of the turn. It's kind of like our own version of Hot Red Dragon Arcfiend Abyss. That guy. So that's our extra deck. For the side deck, again, I always like the old-fashioned heroes, if you want to make room for them. It's a bit of a different build, but there's nothing wrong with playing some classical heroes. Then we have like the visionhero Witch Raider, if you want to have something else to get rid of your opponent's back row. It's a tribute summon thing, but it can work. Another honest news if you need the darn thing. A whole heck of a bunch of other fusion monsters, especially if you're playing Infernal Devicer, which is this cool link. We'll reveal a fusion and get the materials listed on it, which you can use to search out Neos by revealing your Wingman. Or if you want to play things like the old school Thunder Giant, Infernal, play Wingman, get the vanillas, that sort of thing. If you play the vanillas, I highly recommend Grand Merge. This is a really cool fusion that needs normal monsters of the hero variety. But if he beats over somebody, pardon me, yeah, if he beats over somebody, Grand Merge will trade himself out for any elemental hero fusion from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. It can't attack monsters that are lower level than itself, but you can summon out something like Cosmic Neos, and then you prevent your opponent from playing anything for the rest of the turn. So that's pretty nasty right there. And then of course you have Anki if you want to be able to attack your opponent directly. That's another really cool thing. If Slifer was, not immune to stuff, or if he wasn't destructible for some reason, then Anki would have been my next go-to. We also have Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, 300 attack for everything used to summon this thing out, attacks monsters up to the number of fusion materials used for its summoning, and then you destroy monsters, like more damage to your opponent, you can do the original attack points. Pretty nasty big fusion monster there. And last, but certainly not least, we have Heroes Flash, which is a nice little card. Again, I would save this for like the normal monster builds, but it has 4 different effects depending on what you want to do with the darn thing. You have all your heroes piercing, blow up your opponent's cards up to the heroes you control, add or summon an elemental hero from the graveyard, or allow all heroes to attack directly. It's pretty good. Oh, it's only elemental heroes, but still it's a pretty nasty card in of itself. So there's our deck, everybody. I hope you very much enjoyed it. Tomorrow, we're almost to the end of the show. I'll see y'all next year with it, of course, but next time we are looking at Branded Dragon Tail. This is going to be a very nasty deck, that one. I can already see that's going to be very big. So thank you all much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, you'll stay safe and happy. You have a good one. Take care, everybody.
Cabin fever and ravaged all aboard. This once-bound vessel has become a floating cycle ward. We were saved.